Hey, what's up, guys? It's Lisa here from Leith HR Group, and we are hosting another episode of
HR Nightmares. We gotta be
Put
more
us on the
preppy.
spot. Yeah.
Let's try it again.
HR Nightmares.
Okay. Hope you're tuning in on YouTube, but if you're not, you can listen to this on audio anywhere where you listen to your podcast. Make sure you hit subscribe and like if you like what you hear. If you don't leave a nasty comment, okay? And just don't tell your friends. But we'd love for you to share this podcast. We try to give realistic advice, tell a bunch of funny stories on things that we've encountered over the years. This is a podcast for employees, HR managers, leaders alike. We are going to talk about something that resonates with everybody on the planet. Come on now. This is the team member or employee on a team that just has like a shadow of drama, like drama glitter, just like spraying from their like pores.
Always
Just
something.
always something. And then they might sometimes like sneak under the radar for a little. They get a little feedback. They kind of like calm down for a second, like slow their roll on being like a mouthpiece, a drama mouthpiece. And then all of a sudden, boom, they like rear their ugly heads again. And we know the adage, which is past behavior predicts future behavior. So we're going to talk about sniffing out employees with drama. What do you do with them, especially if they're a good performer? Where do we want to start?
The silence is overwhelming.
I'm trying to think. There's
Well,
so
it's
many good
a lot.
ones. Well, I was just thinking about too, like even these employees are not always bad employees. Like, so it's hard to delineate because sometimes they're really good, strong performers, right?
Yeah.
They could be your top salespeople, whatever that looks like. And then I always think back, and we can get into that too, is like, I sometimes have worked with leaders where the drama, they're just way too much drama is circling around them. They either always end up hiring these people that have so much drama, or like somewhere along the line, they're opening arms to drama. And it's just a constant, like in that location or with that business, you're like, something is happening here because this many people shouldn't be cray cray.
There's different kinds of employees with drama. Okay, there's like anger issue employees with drama.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking,
Always slamming their books down or like they're
or like walking, like huffing, like they sit down at their desk, is just huffing, and like the
Roll
person
eyes.
across the cubicle or desk like hears them and it's just like, oh my God. And it's just like cortisol spiking because this person just has a cloud of grumpiness and anger surrounding them. Throwing their cell phone down a hall. That's always fun. I love a guy who throws a cell phone. What about, so there's like anger, grumpy drama.
There's tattler drama.
Oh, tattletale drama.
Like tattler Tammys. Those, I'm just making up that name.
Tattler.
But yeah,
Sorry, Tammy.
Oh,
sorry, whoever there's a
I like
Tammy.
it though. Tattler
Tattler
Tammy.
There
Tammy.
are those people where they're like, ooh, I want to tell you something. Especially in HR, you get that.
Yeah.
Like, you won't believe what they're doing down in purchasing. I mean, I don't want to tell you, but, and they're just
Or
stirring the
so-and-so got a
pot.
Oh my
DUI.
gosh.
Did you see it in the paper? Let me shoot you
pull
the
it up.
link real quick.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Yeah.
It's on my phone.
I don't know
Well,
if you
those
want
are
to do
just
anything
kind
about
of
it,
like
but
your gossipy ones that they
Yeah.
always seem to be in the know of everybody's business. And, I've worked with many of those over the years, but I had a few like in a company that we worked with here, and like they were awesome. They were an awesome person. Like nobody would have ever, but they always had the scoop on everyone. Why they thought I needed to know the scoop, I didn't. I would often say like, why are you telling me this? Now I have to have this in my head.
I don't want
And
to
it
know
has
about
nothing
this.
to do with work. This is something about that person from years ago. I don't need to know that. Like, why do you know that? And why did you share it with me?
So we're recording from North Carolina, obviously in the South, and I've worked in several different customers or like offices where people actually refer to these people as the mouth of the South in the office.
The mouth of the South? Is that because they're like the gossip queen?
They're like, they know everything. They know like who's like doing the dirty with who and who used to, and like who's getting divorced and
whose kids are getting called
whose
to the
kids in
principal.
rehab, and like
Yeah.
who's going to boarding school because they're bad, and like, yeah, they know and they're telling everyone, but like, don't tell and don't say. I'll swear.
Don't
if
say
you
that
heard
it was
it
me.
here.
Yeah, don't say you heard it here. Meanwhile, they've told the whole office, and like it's pretty easy to pinpoint it. But yeah, you gotta love a gossip. Like, what do you guys do with the gossipy folks in the office?
Well, when it's coming to me, and it's stupid stuff that has nothing to do with work, I typically am like, can you stop telling me these things? I stand up for myself. And then I'm like, and please stop telling everybody else these things too. But I also advocate for other people. If they don't want to hear the gossip, they have to also say that too.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm not just an HR director, head of HR right now. I'm just an employee here right now who also doesn't want to hear this. But if it's gossip that I have to like do something about, obviously that's something very different and I handle it like any other situation. But most of the time it's like stupid stuff. Hey, like, did you know about this person? They did this and blah, 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 and over here. I'm like, did I need to know that? Does that have something to do with my ability to help manage them at work or their performance? No, nothing. It was just some like juicy scoop. I'm like, okay,
Well,
I don't need to know the juicy scoop anymore.
So, but they're also just taking so much time away from their work.
Yes.
And that's what's just so annoying to me.
Yes.
And is it like, when does it become slanderous? You know what I mean?
It does. Like you have to remind them like, hey, this also has nothing to do with anything here. So it's a little gossipy. You need to knock it off.
Yeah.
And if it continues.
There's sometimes though, like heads of organizations that I work with, not the ones that I'm currently working with, but in the past that have sort of liked to have ears on the ground.
Mhm.
They're like, ooh, tell me. I just want to kind of know. And I don't really like that kind of personality trait necessarily. I don't jive with that.
The only thing that's good about a rumor monger is oh my God, this is like, goes back like 15 years when I was in the plant. And we used to try to pinpoint the person who would spread the word the fastest and like feed that person the information that we wanted the management team
to have
like
you
have
were
on the
using
floor.
them.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
You were manipulating the gossip monger.
So you're like, that's the fastest way to get our message
So, like,
out.
it's one thing to like that person because I get personal joy out of gossip, but like it's another thing to like flip it and be useful for the business. And like,
I
it's
love
like,
that, Lisa.
Just tell Lisa, she'll tell everybody else without
Yeah.
even asking her.
yeah. And
if
you
it was
just
like
kind
a new
of-
controversial, like, hey, we've had this new policy roll out.
Yeah.
Like, you won't believe what they're doing up there.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to tell you why it's so
But
great.
do they
It's
ever
kinda-
tell you the good things? Or do they most of just tell you like stuff that's like insider
I always think
information?
it's the bad stuff. No one's ever like, guess
Yeah.
what?
Oh my God,
No
Beth
one's
is
ever like,
about to
oh my
blow
God,
her
I'm so
quota.
excited and I can't stop.
Did you see her new car?
Necessary
great.
information. That's the worst.
No,
It's
it's
never
always like,
positive.
oh my God, I can't believe Beth bought a Porsche. What kind of money does she have? Does
What
she
is
have
she doing?
family money?
What is
Does
she doing?
I've really tried to like commit to gossiping less about people. And this isn't, I mean, at work, I don't really do that because I don't have anyone to gossip to because I'm the only person.
Because you're the one telling people to stop
I tell you guys.
gossiping.
We're
gossiping right
like,
now.
Even in my yeah, we're gossiping right
this
now
is
about all these
gossip.
people. But I really have like tried over the years to like stop in my personal life and stuff. I like actively try to stop, but sometimes it's just human nature to like talk a little smack
When you got
about
some
people.
juice, though. It's
So
There was only-
that's why you got to like pull people back.
Yeah.
But you don't want to dim their spirit altogether.
Listen, I love cutting up, obviously. There's only one person in my entire career that I never heard say a bad, not even like slightly bad thing about anybody. And he was training to be a priest before he became an employee relations guy.
oh my gosh.
So this is why he had good training. You know what I mean? The rest of us, it's easy to slip into.
Listen, I think to my like
Gossip
my parents
Gail,
couldn't be
mouth
more
of the
opposite.
South.
I don't know that I've really ever heard like my dad say, I mean, I don't appreciate some of his like views on like political things. So he's happy to say those things, you know, but like people that we know, like, I don't know that I've ever heard him
That's such a wonderful
say
trait.
anything.
that's a great trait.
I mean, once in
I
a
want that
while,
trait.
like he might head nod and agree.
Yeah.
And my uncle too, my mom's brother, like they're kind of two peas in a pod. And he's the same way. In
That's
fact,
so
like
lovely.
my cousin married.
Shout
my
out to Debbie
awful-
Conway who found a good one.
I know she did. She's
our watcher.
She does his share. About no, I'm just kidding, Mom. Sorry. No, I mean, she's our number one fan. She watches.
She totally is.
But my cousin, my second cousin, married one of my sorority sisters.
Second
who I
cousin,
can't
sorority
stand.
sister.
Like
This
we
is
are
a new
like,
episode.
So now
not
you're in
friends.
family.
We are actively not friends. Like, and I didn't know about it over the years. And finally I got someone to say something negative about her. And I was like, ah, thank God. Like people in my family
Did
who
your
would never
dad-
say anything mean
did your
about
dad
everyone
nod?
finally were like, she's not that nice, huh? I'm like, no, she's not. I told everybody. I can't believe I'm related to this person
Did your
now.
dad say, yep, gotcha?
Yeah, and my uncle. He's
Got your
like,
back.
yeah. Hopefully they don't listen to podcasts. They don't even know what those are or how to even click on them. So we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Well, okay. I worked at a plant one time, and another kind of very toxic person, they had a nickname for him, and it was called the Angel of Darkness. He was such a mean and nasty person.
What is the angel of darkness? What is that name?
Is it something? Is it like
There is a
devilish?
there's a
I don't
name.
know. Is that like the devil or like a
gosh,
grim
I hope
reaper?
it's
Like I don't know. Why are you looking at me when you ask that
know.
question?
It wasn't
But anyway.
Gabriel. The
The
angel,
angel
of
of
darkness.
darkness.
I don't know what it was, but this guy was.
I don't think it's good. I think if he
Amy.
learned that was his nickname, he also could have an employee concern.
But he was the worst. And one time we were having a going away
Where was
party.
this? Oh, you can't
At
tell
my-
us.
I can't
It
tell
wasn't
you.
at the Raptor Center
No.
nor at the Bat Cave. Okay.
This
Was
at
it the zoo?
a
Was this at the
manufacturing
zoo?
company.
The zoo?
or
Yeah,
whatever.
I
Oh,
hope
I'm
he
sorry, I'm
wasn't.
sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, angel of darkness. That's like he wasn't doing anything bad to the animals in the
No.
zoo, right?
Oh
Okay.
But he was the worst. There was this really sweet man who founded the company, and I mean, the nicest person ever. And we did this big going away party, and he went up in
Here
the
comes
middle.
the angel.
He was so mean. And so we were having a party, and I had put up a banner, like, oh, here I am. The new HR person put up a banner. This guy was great. And he came down and he was like, and he ripped it down. He was like, I can't concentrate when this is up. And I was like, okay,
Wow,
Darkness.
angel of darkness.
Back up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little.
Did you call him? You should have called it.
Violent.
too.
People call
might have liked
every
it.
single person
He might have
the
liked
angel of darkness. He was
Oh,
so
wow.
bad. But anyway, he was
Drama.
a really, but
That
he
is
was
dramatic.
But he was also just like purposefully trying to be difficult
Yeah.
constantly. Like he almost, I think he was a little twisted because I think enjoyed it.
Did we do a background check on him? The angel of darkness.
But I mean,
He's gonna pop up on your Facebook. Like
If he
people you
does.
should know.
I'll scream. He was just a total jerk. So anyway, I'm still friends with the plant manager, and he'll sometimes he'll just text me randomly. He's really old now, and he'll be like, remember that time the angel of darkness tore down your banner? And he just gets so chuckled about it. And that's been, 15 years ago. But it was just, he was a really nasty, nasty guy.
What
Yeah,
about see,
mean.
that's a whole different kind of drama. That's
yeah.
like the mean drama, the people that we got to get rid of.
Yeah,
What
because
they
about
they're
were
sneaky
toxic.
drama? Like you just always feel like they're up to something, and you just kind of not quite sure how to put your thumb on like what's wrong with this person.
Well, I had someone that I worked with for a long time and like over a few different jobs. And like we had a lot of issues with each other. And when I say we, I mean she had a lot of issues with me. I could have cared less about her. But in my last job, I was the HR director and she was in that team of people I had to be a good business partner to, which made it very difficult. And there was just a lot of manipulation because ultimately she was pretty reputable as well as I was, right? And it became like her throwing me under the bus constantly. And she just was out for me. And I have no idea why. We weren't friends. I didn't like her ever. She didn't know that because I would smile and be nice because it was my job to do so.
Yeah.
No, there was a lot of people I didn't like over the years. I don't think anyone would be able to say that I didn't like them. It's just the way it was.
You're
It was
professional.
yeah, I was professional about it for the most part. But
I need an
there was
episode
just
on
like
the
there
other
was like
parts.
a little group of people that were just kind of like, and we had a nickname for them too, which I won't say it because they also don't work there. So some of them, and
You're not gonna share the nickname.
they would kind of go around just like if they didn't like someone in a role, like they did a pretty good job manipulating what the perception of that person was. And I saw people lose jobs over the years and different things. And I'm like, they're being unfairly assessed. Because at one point I was a peer and then all of a sudden I was not a peer any longer. So like my role changed, right? And I knew all their little inner workings because I was a peer and I saw them do
you
it.
saw them
And
do
they would
it.
bring me in and I'd be sitting at a table and be like, I'm not going to sit here while you talk about that person. Like, and I would get up and leave, and I was never part of it, but I was always around it. And then when all of a sudden it came on me, I'm like, oh, here we go. And I've stayed the course and did my thing. And I took all the feedback on the chin and was like, I'm not going to argue this, because how can I? It's like their word versus mine, And that was so toxic and horrible. And finally, I left the company. That behavior continued with just another person, and the pattern kind of like started to be really open, because I pretty much by the end was like, listen, I'm not dealing with it anymore. If you guys want to fire me, go for it. And if not, then this bullshit needs to end. I'm not dealing with this anymore. This person is just a little manipulator.
Yeah.
She was a narcissist. Like, she's horrible.
I can literally see a face of someone that I work with just like
and
that.
finally,
I can see that person
she
too.
started getting coached. She didn't like it. She ended up going to another company where lots of the other former employees went to. She wasn't successful there either, because the same kind of behavior. And now she's at a third place, and we're like, okay, well, let's see how it goes.
But that's just
like, this
but
is
that's
who
like
this
the
person
angel
is.
of darkness. That's
I
who
was
they
telling
are.
you,
That's who they are.
This is how they are, but
Mhm.
you trusted their word for it because they say it well, and they use the right tone, and they have great results, and like they
But
make you think they're
how
awesome.
to be
I'm
that
like,
kind of
look at that person. They have no friends. Like, nobody here likes them, you know,
Yeah.
but like, yet they had a voice and they used it. So that little manipulator,
Yeah.
and I can't stand people like that. And how leaders can't see through people like that was one of the many reasons that led me to finally leave. I'm like, how do you not see through this? And there's so many people here that
Why
are
do you
doing
think
these
that
things,
is?
and I
Like,
don't
honestly,
understand.
because I think that we are all pretty attuned to that. We can kind of see.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty good judges of character, and we kind of see what people are doing.
They're probably
manipulative.
doing a lot of butt kissing.
Yeah.
They're managing
Yeah.
up the chain
Yeah.
pretty well.
But you
And they
really
have great
couldn't see that.
results.
I know people are butt kissing me.
Listen, in certain organizations, they have great results. It takes
That's
a
true.
lot to
That's
like
true.
start to
That's
dig
true.
in and be like, hey, they make things happen from a business perspective. Are we really going to coach them on some personality issues? Probably not.
and
Or
the
it takes a
meaning
long
of
time.
behavior
And we
is-
were all high level leaders.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it takes a lot to kind of eliminate some high leadership. These weren't like, entry level employees.
Yeah.
We were
They had
director
been
level
there.
people.
A lot of
So it
responsibilities.
was going to take some time.
Yeah, lots of results.
And I was like, I'm
and
not sticking
she
around for
obviously
it.
felt threatened by her peers that could potentially, get the next rung on the ladder before her. And
Yeah.
so she was trying to clear the path and just didn't care about the bodies in the wake.
No.
I'm dealing with that right now, that exact same thing. We have an employee, and he's should I say this, but he's a stirrer, right? He stirs,
Pot stir.
he stirs things up, and he's always trying to then take information and share it with the leadership team, but then put his hands like this.
Yeah.
And so they finally have seen through it. I've seen through it for a long time.
Yeah.
But they've finally seen through it. And so I'm glad, because it's really destructive. It's a small group, and they don't need that,
Yeah.
So
Well, and that's where leaders do need to do a better job of like getting in there and
Discernment.
asking a few more questions, because I always find like the people that come to you first are sometimes the reason the drama's happening, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes the people who are sharing the concern are just beating the other person to the punch,
Yeah.
because they're probably the ones that started it to begin with. Not always, but as many investigations as we've done over the years, we know that sometimes like the first complainant is usually a bigger part of the problem than
Yes.
they led on
Yes.
to.
You might be able to avoid hiring these people in the first place, though.
Yes.
If you slow down and really do more listening than just superficial sort of interview. Right.
Right.
I was just joking around. We've got this like organizational psychologist that helps evaluate like executive level candidates. And he was in town this week, and we were reflecting on this one candidate that we were so thankful we never hired, because there were like yellow flags getting thrown on the field, like to every person that interviewed. But had we not sort of like all said, hey, this was a maybe an issue. And this organizational psychologist was like, he was a bad human.
Yeah.
Like a bad, but we were close to convincing ourselves that I'm just going to bury that little concern. I'm going to bury that little concern, but it would have turned into something terrible like you're describing, which probably would have led others on the leadership team to leave eventually because they couldn't put up with this guy who was probably going to get the results. Let's be honest.
And it also takes courage, right? So if you're in those panels and you're like, well, I saw this yellow flag, but maybe they didn't. So do I want to ruin this guy's chance?
Especially if like the leader is saying, oh, I'm in love with this person. Yeah. And you're like, should I speak up? Let me tell you, always
speak up.
Always speak up.
Well, there's one thing I learned in all of my failed relationships that a red flag or a yellow flag on date 2 becomes a red flag on date 100. So yeah, listen to the yellow flags.
You had a good story about like the stuff. This was probably in season 1, the stuffed animals on like the ex's bed, and you ignored it. Anyway, you'll have to go back to that library of episodes.
He cried and cried. He cried on the
crier.
first date about his cat that had died. And I'm an animal person, not as much with cats, but like I have great empathy, but like it was date 1 and I didn't ask about it. So like, I'm not sure. Yeah. And it's not like it happened that week. Had been a while. I mean, I want to have empathy. So it's not me. Maybe I was the red flag in that one. And I was like, why is he crying? But there were some other things. And yes, that
stuffed
I should have
That's
ignored.
a real shame. Can I have another drink, please?
And then there was a few other things that happened. And I kept dating him for like 3 months.
I know.
Then finally he went real psycho on
your
me
interview
when I said I can't date you anymore. It didn't go well. But yeah. So again, yellow flags on date 1.
Flags. Also,
red flags.
I saw.
I love yellow flags.
I was just talking about this earlier with one of the recruiters, and it was like professional references are usually a freaking joke, right? Like I hate professional references, but one that I read recently that I'm going to start using is if you think there might be like just like a slight chance that there's something off about this person for this role, call their professional reference and like do the niceties or whatever, but then ask them one question, and it is, if I called you 1 year from now and told you it didn't work out, what would you tell me the reason was? Mm-hmm. And I love that question because it kind of puts the person in the frame of mind that they didn't do a good job, or they didn't get along with the team, and like, what does that all look like? So I'm gonna start using that. Like we said,
I love that.
Today we're gonna start using
better questions, not just those reference checks in general. People are not giving you people are gonna say anything negative about them, but sometimes they'll give you people where they maybe think they had a better rapport and relationship than they did. And I always know from a reference check when someone's like holding back, like they're being very cautious about what they're saying and how they're saying it, that there's a little more to it. So again, it's like, you've got to listen to what's not being said sometimes too in those interviews. And I think references, especially when you're thinking about executive, because I think anyone they're putting on letters of recommendation are a little more higher level people too, because that's probably who they worked around. And I think they're a little more open to saying stuff. So if you ask a few like better questions, I think my big thing on that is always like, if you were to go start a new business tomorrow, would this be the first person you would call to come along with you?
Yeah.
And like the pause will tell you everything.
That's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I always, this was one that the founder of Annika uses, and I like it too. It's similar to what you just said. And it's like, if I was to stack rank, let's just take Lisa. If I was to stack rank Lisa amongst all the HR professionals you've ever worked with, like in what percentile would she be in?
Yeah.
And he's like, and if they don't say the top 2%, 5%, I don't want them.
Yeah.
And I like that too.
Yeah, that is
but
good.
that doesn't identify the drama, right?
No.
So like I when we're thinking about drama, there are ways that you can frame it up, and even like, I know back channel references, a lot of people don't like to do those, but if you are connected on LinkedIn or you're connected through your professional network of somebody that used to work with them, like I always think it's worth picking up the phone or shooting a text and being like, hey, thumbs up or thumbs down, is this somebody I should proceed with? And it's like, I don't want to say a lot, but thumbs down.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, thanks. And usually that has to do with maybe not always performance. It could be, drama.
Personal. I mean, we think about too, the employees, outside of like the angel of darkness kind of personalities or the gossip mongers and stuff. Sometimes there's just people that have so much personal drama in it, whether they realize it or not, that it's drama, right? And I think about like, gosh, again, like I'm constantly, there's a few employees, like I think about where none of it are they directly at fault for any of it, right? I think they're good people who come from different backgrounds and have a large family and just get pulled in and sucked in. But that to me tells me that they're not exhibiting courage in their life outside of work either to set boundaries and to say like, I can't be involved in this. And I'm like, if they're not doing it in their life outside of work, they're not going to be doing it inside of work too. And I always think like they need coaching on how to set boundaries across their whole life. And if we help them here with it, then they'll be better at it outside of work. Cause all that stuff comes into work. Right. And they're always asking for time off and different things. Cause it's like this week it's a car accident and next week it's my husband lost a job. And then the week after that, it's my child is sick. It's like every single week there's something going on. And it does lead to a lot of disruption in the workplace.
We've had, we've been working with some groups. I've been working with some groups and sometimes, you'll walk into this person's office and they're like laid out on the ground and you're like, are you okay? Oh, I just need to do my like meditation because my life is so crazy. And you're like, okay, I can get that maybe, but I'm going to tell you like, can you please like, it's crazy out there. It is so crazy out there.
People in.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Would be people in.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and so sometimes it is hard.
But then the drama is that everyone is very compassionate. So they want to come in, help this person. And then of course I'm like the meanest person ever because I'm like, okay, that was an hour and a half that we're like talking her off of the fence. And you're just like, can you please get back into your chair? I'd really appreciate it.
That's what I mean. You can't get sucked into the drama. I always think of like leaders that tend to like be drama magnets or, okay, I'm going back to relationships for a minute. If you ever, Beth and I are single, you have a long-term husband, but all the men that would say like, I'm just like a magnet for like toxic women. I'm like, you're the problem. You're the problem. You're the problem. Immediately when they say that, done, break up, done. We're never going to go anywhere from here. Right. They are the problem. If anyone says that to you. And I think about leaders that I've worked with where it's like, they are always surrounded by drama. And I always think of this one leader who was incredible. And like, I still talk to her to this day. She's incredible. And we had a very open dialogue. She would not be surprised by anything I would say. Right. And that location just like had so much drama. And I'm like, what's going on? I had lots of locations at the time, but this one just seemed to always be the issue. And it was a store that was like, pretty good. And the employees for the most part, like when I was there, I'm like, they seem pretty norm. Like what's happening? But I think she kind of like egged it on a little because I think she was bored in her job. She had been in that job a long time. She could have run that show probably 2 days a week, working 2 days a week, right? Like she just was ready for the next thing. So she actually like tolerated a little more or like embraced it or be like, come tell me everything that's going on. And you're like, why are you asking them to tell everything? Yeah. We don't need to know everything that's going on. But because she had time to get invested in the drama. And then therefore I had to get involved because I was her HR business partner. And I'm like, I though don't have time because I have 5 other locations
and
to worry about.
I don't want to know all the ins and outs.
And she was incredible. She was just kind of like, she needed more to do. Like she had time to invite the drama in and get involved.
We had this person in when I was just out of college, and we had that friend group in your early 20s. And there was this guy that hung out with us all the time, and his nickname was Create a Crisis. Like just create a crisis. Okay. So it'd be like, hey, Create a Crisis Jim, and it was his name, and it's like I don't even remember his name except for Create a Crisis, but that sort of sounds like that.
Yeah,
it's like just manufacturing this for really no reason.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Sometimes like you're making this bigger than the employee made it. I don't even know what's happening here. Or like, why are you even involved? So I think we have that. And we have things like that happening right now with some of us and some of our people managers that we support where it's just like,
screen for drama.
We have to set some boundaries.
Set boundaries. Deal with drama. Get rid of these people. These are people
They
that,
are
like,
toxic and
you
get rid
just-
of them.
You just got to go.
Basically, angel of darkness, gotta go.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Leave
no
my
ripping
banner up
down
there.
banners.
Leave my banner up there, Angel. One thing I've started as I'm getting older, this is my new quote, and I saw it's like a Keanu Reeves quote.
Oh.
And he said,
there's someone
he
to
was like,
emulate.
he said, I'm at the age now where if somebody comes up to me and says 2 + 2 = 5, I'm like, right on. And I keep walking.
I think that's been going around TikTok and Instagram for years, but
It's
I
the
don't know
truth,
that
'cause
Keanu said it.
I believe what I read on Instagram and TikTok. But I'm telling you what,
Keanu-
Yeah, no, I've
don't
seen that
want- I just
everywhere.
don't-
A lot of good
I'm
quotes.
doing
Yeah.
I just don't want to be in that anymore.
It's like you do you.
Yeah, it's like I've just had so much in my personal life that it's like I'm going to work not to be in a drama crisis mode, you know?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people
Well,
are
and I
like
think
that
we
too.
realize like we have a lot of employees who do have a lot of things going on in their lives outside of work and personal things. And yet and it doesn't mean that nothing's ever going to affect you. I don't believe that we lead compartmentalized lives.
No,
I don't believe
we
that
don't.
like leave it all at the door, but there has to be some balance and some boundaries of like how much you're letting it impact the people around you when you come into the workplace
That's
from
right.
your
And
ability
also,
to
if
do the
you
job.
have to lay on
and-
the ground, go for it. But please just shut your door so that the whole rest of the
100%.
If you want to
100%.
meditate,
Yeah.
close
lay
the
on,
door
lay on the floor,
and keep it quick. 10
Get-
minutes.
get back to work.
Get back to work.
It's like a smoke break. Like as long as it would take me to smoke a Marlboro, that's how long you can lay on the floor.
There you go.
Oh my God, I'm picturing this person. Jeez.
I think you probably, honestly, you probably know the person.
Yeah, I know the person. Okay.
It's a small town.
Hey. Anything else?
No.
Any other advice for dealing with
drums?
employees with drama?
2 + 2 = 5. Right on.
That's right.
Right on.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Like we said, go back and check out a couple of our other episodes. Share with your friends. It's always a good time. Appreciate you. HR Nightmares, Leith HR Group. If you need an HR consultant, we'd love to be yours. Bye.